Here is the 2024 Audis. This is the Q8 in Glacier White Metallic, and this is the SQ8 in blue. We got a light refresh on the exterior, which is only on the Q8 and SQ8. It is not going to be on the RS Q8. Power is going to be a lot different. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to go over the pros and cons, the problems, comparable rivals, and what you're getting from each vehicle. With the Q8, we have the Prestige package, which gives us the LED matrix headlights, daytime runnings. It goes into the reworked grille, and the Audi badging is going to look similar to the e-tron Q8, which when you go into the SQ8, I think it looks a little bit more bold because of the black optic package with the blacked out rings, keeping the HD matrix LED headlights in daytime runnings. The lower is going to be a little bit more aggressive with the honeycomb, whereas on the Q8, you're going to get the vertical lines. And the Prestige package gives us the front and rear parking sensors with the top view camera or 360-degree reverse camera. But what's housed underneath the hood is going to change the whole ball game, because this is going to be a 3.0 liter TFSI V6 producing 335 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque paired to the same 8-speed automatic transmission as the SQ8. The difference though is this is going to be a 4.0 liter TFSI twin turbo V8 producing 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet of torque. Reaching 60, the Q8 is going to be at 5.5, Audi's quoting, whereas the SQ8 is at 4 seconds. But if you're thinking it's going to be night and day difference in MPGs, you're at 17 over 23. Here you're at 15 over 19, so it's not a huge difference. We have the black optic package on the SQ8, so that's why the grille's blacked out. It would normally be 22-inch wheels. We have the upgraded 23-inch wheels. It is a bicolor with the red brake calipers. That's part of the Sport S package, which also includes the active roll stabilization and the Sport rear differential, housing 6 pistons in the front and rear axle steering, which will go up to 5-degree turn radius whenever you're doing some performance, or if you need to get in and out of a parking area. It's going to help give us a near 50-50 weight distribution. Now going into comparison for competition, the BMW X6 M60i, that's going to have more horsepower than this. However, this is going to be faster in the 0 to 60, faster in the top speed. And because we have the rear axle steering, it's going to be closer to a 50-50 weight distribution. But for me, rear axle steering is kind of like cheating, because you didn't do a great job on your math test, so you added this, therefore making it easier for you to pass math, getting a B instead of a C. And comparing this against Mercedes, this is going to be faster as well. You can put this at a class with the Porsche, and you could probably save anywhere from 10 to 20 grand to get the same performance that's similar to this at what we have here, not necessarily featured up. Whereas when you go into the Q8, we're getting 21-inch wheels, which takes me back to my pizzeria days, because 21 and 23-inch wheels is crazy the size. I used to sell an 18-inch for an extra large. A 28-inch was called the giant pizza. So that's what I'm thinking about these wheels. They're giant. And going back to competition, the BMW is going to be a little bit faster, but it's also a little bit more money. So 2 to 3/10 of a second 0 to 60 is not going to change my persona, considering we get the styling updates for the Q8. I like how it looks a little bit more wide, and it looks a little bit more aggressive, even going into more of a base trim. But when you go into the Prestige, you also receive the air suspension. Going against Mercedes, this is going to be a little bit faster. It's going to cost a little bit more money. But then when I'm thinking total package, I'm getting towing maxing at 7,700 pounds for both variants, and the rear has been reworked with OLED tail lights, and the lower is going to look a little bit more aggressive going into the SQ8. But it's not going to be too subtle when you're going to the Q8, because you'll still get the grille pattern, the dual exhaust outlets. Q8 badging is going to be blacked out, but the Audi O-rings kind of wish they were blacked out, because it looks so similar to the Q8 e-tron, which I want to look different because this is the gas variant, opposed to the SQ8 with the quad exhaust tips, the diffuser that's been reworked. The SQ8 badging has been redone as well. Both of them have that silhouette style for the coupe look, but the SQ8 is going to be a little bit more in performance, because both of them have the same 30.5 cubic feet of storage. They both have a kick to open and a power liftgate, which is going to do the SQ8. Storage nooks, 12 volt, bag holders, LED interior lights, and you can lower the suspension on both because we have the air suspension on the Q8 with the Prestige package. That way it makes it easier for loading. Unfortunately, you have to go inside the car in order to fold down the seats to maximize cargo at 60.7 cubic feet at a 60-40 split or a 40-20-40 split, and that will increase that cargo capacity. But this is an SQ8. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear the exhaust note, and go inside the Q8 so you can hear the difference. The Prestige package adds these soft closed doors, Volcano leather wrap seats, ventilated and massage seats, heated is standard, 18-way power seat adjustment, memory for the driver and passenger, and acoustic windows that are edgeless on all of the sides. 18-way power seat adjustment with the Volcano leather diamond stitch with the S badging, heated and ventilated. The ventilated comes with the executive package. The heated rear seats also will come with that, along with the acoustic pano moonroof, memory for the driver. Check this feature out. You can also turn that up so you can hear it a little bit more so. Headroom and leg room. The SQ8 is going to be a little bit more sporty in the interior, but it is lacking in some features like the luxury pack, so we're not going to get the leather on the dash, nor will we get it here in the center area, but we do get the carbon inlays that will become standard in the SQ8. Quattro badging that illuminates with 64 different colors for the ambient lighting. Gloss black materials are going to highlight the center trim of the dash. Auto-dimming rear view mirror, and the two-screen setup, a 10.1 MMI on the top that has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa, and you can see sometimes it has glitch, which I've talked about on some reviews. It's probably not going to work. We're going to have to go into the Q8 so you can see. Here's the key fob for the SQ8. Perforated on the gear lever, perforated on the side of the leather wrap steering wheel, S badging, multi-function. And the paddle shifts are the same on the Q8 with a 12.3 Audi virtual cockpit. You can expand the navigation, zoom in and zoom out. You can change the whole configuration for the gauge cluster, and you can make it smaller or bigger. Going into the MMI infotainment screen, you have to go into the vehicle settings here in order to change the 6 different positions for the front seats. Otherwise, you have the massage seats, which when you push the button, this will also pull up, so you don't have to go all the way into there, going into 2 or 3 different prompts. The lower is an 8.8 inch that's derived for the climate control. Heated ventilated seats, driver mode select, which when we click onto it, you have a lot of different driving modes, plus individual, which you can tailor here to make it a little bit more sport derived. Here's the key fob for the Q8. Soft materials because we have the luxury package, and that's going to be here as well. And it's going to be a little bit more sporty. This slides up, slides back, opens up. Wireless charging pad because this is the Prestige package, which also increases your signal. 2 USB ports, storage on both sides with a leather wrap steering wheel. It's also multi-function. And here we're going to have a dark wood inlay, which I think it looks really nice for the Q8. It just makes it stand out a little bit more so. Soft materials on the top because we have the luxury package. Soft closed doors also, soft to rest your arms, one touch up and down for all the windows, and the same size storage pocket with a storage nook for the driver. Headroom for the back seat of the Q8, it's going to be the same for head and leg room as the SQ8. Storage behind both of the front seats. You can move these up, and I can still fit, and I'm at 6'3". You can also recline these seats back, which I think I got it in the furthest area you can. Dual climate control settings and heated rear seats are part of the Prestige package with USB ports, 12 volts, air vents on the side. We have the Alcantara for the headliner and all the pillars, cup holders with armrests, and both trims will have a power sunshade because this is the Prestige and this is the SQ8. Carbon fiber inlays are going to be inside. Soft materials here, but because we don't have the luxury package, we're not getting anything soft there. A little bit more sporty. A cigarette ashtray for those who smoke, one touch up and down for the windows, a medium-sized storage pocket with the beverage holder carved out. The floor is not flat. You will be sharing some feet space, but it's such a wide vehicle. Butt shoulder space not really compromised, but I'd have to slide in order for headroom to not be an issue, and I have to kind of sit back because of the way the headliner is carved out. And you can see the back seats keep that stitch work, whereas when you go into the Q8, you'll just receive the perforated and the contrast stitch. The Q8 with 335 horsepower, look at what you get. It still puts a smile on your face. I like the Q8 itself. The styling of it looks sporty, even though you're not getting the most performance when you go into the Q8. But you got 369 pound-feet of torque, so it does throw you back 5.5 seconds 0 to 60. Is it comparable to the SQ8? Not really. But if you are kind of in this ballpark pricing, it can be, because this one is almost at 90 grand, in which the other example is just a little bit over $110,000. So you're not looking at a huge difference when you're already at a six-figure price point. Maneuverability is going to be very easy and light. This has the air suspension because it's the Prestige package, which is going to lead me to the first problem, or con, I should say. You have to tack on over $12,000 of features in order to make your Q8 look like this. If you're going to do that, you might as well consider stepping into a base SQ8 because the performance is going to be night and day difference. MPGs, you're only 2 less for the city and highway, so it doesn't necessarily make sense. And then the 0 to 60, 1.5 seconds quicker. I'm not saying I don't like the Q8. I'm just saying don't necessarily feature it up. If you get it base with a few features, it's a great vehicle, because then you're going to be able to capture the luxury. You got the towing capabilities and that day in and day out use. Sadly, I would suggest getting the Prestige package, even though that tacks on over 8 grand, because you get the massage seats, the ventilated front seats, soft closed doors. There's a lot in that package. Visibility is good. When you're in dynamics, it will like to stay at a higher RPM, which that's a good thing, so you can go between vehicles. Putting into comfort, you're not going to feel anything. Now these are 21-inch wheels, whereas the SQ8 is 23-inch wheels, so we'll see if there's a difference there. As for sound deadening, everything's acoustic because we have the Prestige package. Over 8 grand, so it's putting you over that $80,000 threshold, which when I'm thinking about BMW, if I go into the base variant, that's going to be faster than this. It's going to be $1,000-ish more money starting off at a base price. It's going to be a little bit more of a rigid drive. Here is going to be a little bit more settle. And when you tack on these packages, you get the air suspension, so you just glide all day long. Adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, frontal collision, pedestrian detection, cyclist detection, rear cross traffic alert. I mean, you're taken care of with all safety. The con, you do have to add packages to unlock all of the safety. For the pros, the technology is good. The con, it can glitch, as you saw in the review, and you have to do a lot of things in the MMI infotainment screen, either the top or the bottom. I would have liked to see the technology being refreshed, because this has been summed up. Basically, this was like a Bentley with a whole bunch of buttons, and then they just put it digital. So that way it makes it a little bit more seamless. So I like that it is that way, but then I don't like the configuration because you have to go into multiple pages. Try doing that driving. Cons, turn radius is not that good. I mean, you're at 3 lanes. When you're talking BMW or Mercedes, you're gonna be more tight. And that's derived because the weight distribution is a little bit better. Rock and roll. And both of the vehicles can do more or less a semi-autonomous driving for about 0.2 to 0.3 miles. 500 horsepower opposed to 335 horsepower. It's going to be night and day difference. Check it out. you get up to speed so quick that you're gonna get a speeding ticket. So I'm gonna put it back into comfort mode before that happens to me. Comparing this against the standard Q8, I like the styling elements because both of them are going to look a lot more dramatic, but there's no power increase when we're going into the SQ8 opposed to the 500 horsepower and 568 pound-feet. Now I understand why, because when you're thinking RS Q8, it's night and day difference. You got 591 horsepower, but there's still a little bit of play, so it shows you that you can tune this engine quite a bit because that's what Audi is doing. The drive to it is still comfortable, so if you are thinking to spend an extra $20-ish thousand, you're not going to be displeased because the performance is there. This is at 4 seconds where you're at 5.5 seconds. So you're gonna get to light a little bit quicker, and this is one of the best in class when you're considering performance compared to Mercedes and BMW. It's gonna take me to some pros and cons. Starting off with the pros on the SQ8 is the value that you're getting. The technology is good, but on the con, it can lag, and you do have to use everything through the MMI infotainment screen. You have to pay extra for heads-up display. When I'm in an SQ8, I would like to see the soft materials throughout. I don't want to pay for extra features. Alcantara headliner, that should be standard. The seats are going to be comfortable either way you go. Taking me to another con, they have removed the SQ8 badging for the front grills. I would like the paddle shifters to not be plastic because we are in the SQ8. But the pro is you're getting the air suspension, so the ride is going to be comfortable whether you tailor it sport or you go for comfort. The problem that I have with the SQ8 is I feel that they have tamed it a lot more so than the RSQ8. And when you're talking 500 horsepower, it shouldn't be the case. You will feel lag off the line, but once you get this thing spooled up, it's ready to rock and roll, which changes the whole drive demeanor. And if you do drive this opposed to the Q8, you're not going to be happy or satisfied with the power that's there. However, if you drive the Q8 first, it may be sufficient. So you may want to drive that one first to see for the powering, because this can be overpowering at times. Turn radius in both are going to be the same, but the performance will not be, so let's rock and roll. And that's what I mean by that lag. Like, you saw it on the camera, I wasn't acting. It literally was like, okay. It's tremendous what happens once the car is engaged. I do like that you can still get this under 100 grand even though we got a refresh, which usually when you get these refresh, the price increases a good 5-10 grand. They didn't do so with Audi, so I applaud them for that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like, and I'd like to thank Audi Tampa for giving us these two 2024 Audis, the SQ8 versus the Q8 for our car review.